1493, Russia and Denmark established diplomatic relations for the first time. The Muscovite state and the Kingdom of Denmark signed a mutual assistance pact in Copenhagen. 2011. Russia is one of the fastest growing export markets for Denmark. Amicable relations between Russia and Denmark are evolving rapidly, just as 500 years ago, and business is acting as the key driver of bilateral relations. Despite the global crisis, trade turnover between Russia and Denmark continues to grow. Denmark has already invested over $2 billion into the Russian economy since 1991. Over 200 major Danish companies have representative offices, and some have established their operations in Russia.
Well, we have had diplomatic relations and economic relations for 500 years, and especially up to the last part of the 19th century and beginning of the 20th, with huge investments from Denmark to Russia. So also in recent years there have been increasing trade and increasing investment. So I think we have 500 years of close cooperation, and that is our ambition that will continue.
Carlsberg is among those at the forefront of Russian-Danish business cooperation today. Carlsberg Group, established in 1847. Carlsberg is the world's fourth largest brewery group with a broad range of beer brands and non-alcoholic drinks sold in more than 150 markets. In 1992, Carlsberg Group purchased a controlling stake of the Russian brewer Baltika. Since 1996, Baltika has become the largest brewer in Russia, and now it is the leading FMCG company in Russia. Baltika is the largest beer brand in Russia and in Europe. Total investments of Carlsberg Group in Russia amount to $12 billion. Baltika easily won over the Russian market, leaving competitor brands green with envy. Customers applauded the first Russian beer fully capable of competing with imports quality-wise. As a result, by 1997, the company became Russia's top-selling beer manufacturer and has maintained this leadership position ever since. The results are impressive, meaning, of course, our market performance and economic achievements. Practically, it means access to the best global practices. But in this case, it's a two-way street. Baltika has been consistently improving its financial performance over the years. Efficient marketing and driving ambition are what it took to become an absolute number one. Carlsberg's Russian subsidiary expanded not only through the acquisition of existing plants, but also through building new ones. The company currently has plants in 10 cities around Russia. It holds 40% of the Russian beer market.
But I still believe, let's say Russia, if I begin with Russia, it is a market. And over time there'll be ups and downs, but it is a market, it is a place with a lot of opportunity going forward. So one needs to be prepared to take some risk, but then there can also be a big prize and opportunity if one is prepared to take a risk.
Investments into the real sector are distinctive of European investments into Russia. The Kingdom of Denmark is not an exception. And in its relations with Russia, Denmark is actively relying on its key competitive advantage, energy-saving innovations.
We try to work at all levels, and maybe energy efficiency is one of the most developed areas for bilateral cooperation between Russia and Denmark.
Danes excel at introducing energy-efficient solutions. Rockwool Group is a great example. Its products have saved the Russian consumer a great deal of heat. Rockwool Group. It has 26 factories in 17 countries and sales points in more than 30 countries. In Russia, since the 70s, as a supplier of insulation for the shipbuilding industry, Rockwool has 4 factories in Russia: Железнодорожный, Vyborg, Troitsk, and under construction in Yelabuga. Rockwool Russia accounts for 10% of group sales. Stone wool insulation made from basalt has numerous exceptional qualities such as fire, water, and noise resistance. Besides households, Danish heat efficiency solutions are applied in a wide variety of industries. Rock wool insulation is used in shipbuilding, at production facilities, for pipelines and air ducts.
It's a significantly growing market. As I've said, we now have 4 factories, with the 4th one that we're building, and we account for about 10% of the worldwide business, which makes us one of the largest companies in the Rockwool Group.
Danish investors are actively contributing towards fulfilling the potential of Russia's special economic zones. Rockwool is currently building its 4th plant in the Alabuga zone in the Republic of Tatarstan.
You have tremendous lots of new buildings to do, of buildings to refurbish. We think the Russian market is a very high potential.
Rockwool has invested a total of $150 million into the Yelabuga plant that is expected to supply heat insulation not only to Russian households, but also to export it to the CIS.
The Danish investments both goes to Central European countries, some of the newcomers, Poland, Czech Republic, and to Russia, so they don't choose between Russia and the other countries. So our investments are definitely increasing in Russia.
Danish business relies on customer-focused strategy, enhancing its ability to proactively respond to customer requirements. The main goal is not just to deliver equipment, but to establish long-term, reliable partnership ties. Grundfos, with representative offices in 26 cities throughout Russia, is a great example. Grundfos Group was founded in 1945 in Denmark. It is the world's leading manufacturer of pumping equipment. Total production volume of the group is over 16 million pumps per year. Grundfos equipment is represented in 51 countries of the world. In Russia, Grundfos pumps have been known from 1957. In 2005, the first plant for production of pumping equipment in Istra, the Moscow region, was opened. Total Grundfos investments into the Russian economy by 2011 are more than 100 million euros. Grundfos pumps are used for water supply, irrigation, wastewater treatment, and cooling. Every second pump in all heating systems around the world is branded Grundfos. Customers in Russia first got introduced to the brand over a half a century ago. The local production site, opened in the city of Istra in the Moscow region in 2005, brought the company even closer to its clients. Our brand is well known in all of these areas, and the total turnover for our companies this year is expected to total 200 million euros. So we are actually growing 30 to 40% a year, and recently we've been growing at an accelerated pace in the industrial sector. As a result of launching a plant in Russia, Grundfos was able to significantly reduce delivery times, as well as to customize its pump systems for the local market. Fire system, control cabinet, and sewer station production lines are case in point. Grundfos equipment is installed at production facilities, airports, water and wastewater treatment plants in Russia's largest cities, including Moscow, St. Petersburg, Rostov-on-Don, Voronezh, Khabarovsk, and Syktyvkar. The Russian unit makes an important contribution to the company's success overall.
Now we can see that the Russian economy is developing quite fine, and we see wealth being created in Russia, and this is good news for us because we are in business of creating pump solutions that are creating wealth. And we are expecting very much from our investments in Russia.
An entire research and development center is working on innovative solutions for hydraulic design at Grundfos. And this is common for all Danish businesses. All new solutions and technologies are aimed at promoting resource efficiency, sustainability, and energy saving. Danish energy saving experience is truly unique. Denmark's GDP doubled over the last 25 years, whereas energy consumption grew only 5%. This was made possible by the best energy-saving technologies in the world. Investment projects carried out by Danfoss showed that similar energy savings can be achieved in Russia. Danfoss AS is an international group and leader in research, development, and production of mechanical and electronic components and solutions. Net sales in 2010, more than 4 billion euros. Danfoss is a global company with local factories in 25 countries. 2 of them are located in Russia. Danfoss's investments in Russia is about 50 million euros. Danfoss first came to Russia back in the early 90s. The production of thermostats for heating systems had just started in Moscow. These were installed into newly constructed houses. Danish experience could not have come at a better time. Denmark, unlike most European cities, has district heating, just like Russia. Danfoss technologies had a great effect. Heat consumption reduced by at least 1/3.
Today, Russia is the 6th biggest market for us globally, and growing around 30% right now. It's moving up the list of the most important companies or countries.
Danfoss's many years of experience in Russia make it a desired partner for the most forward-looking Russian developers. Among them, Renova Stroy Group, known for its bold high-tech experiments. Renova Stroy Group is a big development Russian company founded in 2005. Total value of all portfolio projects reaches around 20 million of square meters of real estate in different regions of the country. Russia and Denmark have piloted a joint project in the Akademicheski district of Yekaterinburg, building the first so-called passive house with energy-saving know-hows from Danfoss. The Akademicheski project covers 9 million square meters of housing. The project offers new architectural and technical solutions. It's an absolutely new city concept, fully compliant with all European environmental standards. When it comes to energy-saving houses, the Danish industry has no equals. A vivid example of this is the Green Lighthouse in Copenhagen, the most energy-efficient building in the world, designed with the participation of Buhl. Looking for an opportunity to gain invaluable experience, E4, a Russian engineering group, offered the developers from Denmark to cooperate on a new project. E4 Group is the largest engineering company in Russia. It has experience in executing over 500 projects on 3 continents in 23 countries, which include permafrost conditions, areas with tropic climate, and limited transport accessibility remote from the settlements. The holding offers advanced engineering solutions for power, mining, chemical, oil and gas and other industries, household and public utilities, and construction of infrastructure. The Russian E4 Group and the Danish Buhl are planning to build an energy-efficient building in the Skolkova Innovation Hub. It is expected to become the Copenhagen's Green Lighthouse's full-fledged pier, with ultra-low energy consumption of 31 kilowatt-hours per square meter, 10 times below Russia's current standards. An equally innovative project for Russia will appear in the city of Novofominsk in the Rostov region. A unique active house has been jointly constructed by the Russian Zagorodny project and Danish Velux. The Velux Group is the world-leading roof window manufacturer. The Velux Group has manufacturing companies in 11 countries and sales companies. This includes 2 production companies in Russia, wood processing in Arkhangelskaya region, and roof window factory in Yaroslavskaya region. The company is present in Russia for 20 years and about 70 years in the world. Active House is setting out to create a new trend in individual housing, offering a whole new level of comfort and safety, as well as maximum energy efficiency and sustainability. The Danish company is building 6 experimental houses in 5 countries around the world, and Russia was selected as one of the most attractive partners.
It's very good. Both Medvedev and Putin has recently been here to Denmark. I had the honor of meeting both of them when they were here, and that's a very good sign of a good cooperation.
Russian-Danish relations are a rare example of how 2 countries have managed to live in peace without ever being at war with each other. Russia sees a lot of famous Danes almost as family. Many generations of Russians grew up reading Andersen's fairy tales. And it's hard to think of Vladimir, the famous collector of Russian dialectal vocabulary, as anyone other than Russian, as well as of Vitus Bering, a pioneering explorer of Russian lands. Russian-Danish relations grew even stronger in 1866. Emperor Alexander III's marriage to Princess Dagmar of Denmark, Empress Maria Fyodorovna, reinforced the diplomatic relations between the two ruling dynasties, the Romanovs and the Oldenburgs, with relative ties. Denmark and Russia will always be willing to offer each other a hand of friendship and cooperation. Margaret II, Queen of Denmark's visit in 1975, is yet another example of amicable relations between the two countries. It was the first visit of a foreign monarch to the USSR after the end of World War II. September 2006 was marked by another important event. The ashes of Empress Maria Fyodorovna were transferred from Denmark to St. Petersburg. Russia and Denmark grew yet even closer. Even during the crisis of 2009, the trade turnover between Russia and Denmark saw a milder slowdown than with many other European countries, contracting a mere 14%. The energy sector often turns out to be a stumbling block, but it played an immense role in our relations. The Danes were the first country to make the governmental decision granting construction permit to build the Nord Stream pipeline in their waters. And this was naturally met with great appreciation by the Russian authorities. A Danish investment project in pharmacology vividly shows that even the global recession cannot impede Russian-Danish business cooperation. Novo Nordisk is building an insulin plant in the Kaluga region. Novo Nordisk, a healthcare company founded in 1923, is the world leader in diabetes care. The company markets its products in 179 countries. Novo Nordisk insulin volume market share worldwide is 51%. Representative office in Russia was established in 1991. Diabetes is admittedly the plague of the 21st century. The number of people suffering from the disease is growing rapidly. Russia already has over 3.3 million patients diagnosed with diabetes. In reality, the number of people with the disease is 2 to 3 times higher. Many are just not aware of it. Of 900,000 people that take insulin on a daily basis, almost half use medication produced by the Danish Novo Nordisk. The company has decided to invest in building a local plant to bring the much-needed medicine to the Russian consumers, allocating over $100 million.
The investment climate at the moment for us is quite favorable in the sense that we have, after a very thorough investigation, site selection, different parts of Russia, identified a very professional region, the Kaluga region, where we have met very professional administrators, and in particular the governor of the Kaluga region.
This Russian unit will be able to share the new generation Danish technologies with Russian pharmaceutical businesses, bringing them a step closer to setting up their own similar insulin production, from clinical trials to the manufacturing of medicines.
We estimate that there is 6 to 7 million people in Russia who have diabetes. Unfortunately, only a third of these are diagnosed and know they have the disease and can be treated. So the Russian health authorities have a big challenge in diagnosing and treating these patients. We would like to help the authorities to ensure that people get diagnosed and treated appropriately.
Russian and Danish businesses are developing ties in all possible spheres, including agriculture, energy efficiency, steelmaking, medicine, construction, and banking.
Denmark is a market economy. So the role of the government in Denmark and also the European Union and in our cooperation with Russia is to create attractive investment framework conditions and trading conditions. That is the role of the government in a market economy. That being the case, after that, the companies themselves make the decisions as to whether they find it attractive to trade and to invest. So the Danish government does not select any companies that they should or should not trade or invest from Russia.
Transportation is yet another example of successful Danish investments. Møller-Maersk is actively investing in the marine transportation sector. AP Møller-Maersk Group is the biggest company in Denmark. Maersk Line is a container shipping company. The Maersk Line fleet comprises more than 500 vessels and a number of containers corresponding to around 2 million TEU. Maersk Line in Russia, ZAO Maersk, is represented with 5 offices in St. Petersburg, Moscow, Kaliningrad, Novorossiysk, and Vladivostok. Danish ships are responsible for the handling of containers in the ports of St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, and Novorossiysk. In March of 2010, the Russian unit of the Maersk Line launched the first in history direct DC liner routes between South America and Russia with unique, newly built, ice-classed container vessels. This service will allow direct delivery of tropical fruit to Russia. In 2011, Maersk Line opened another service to St. Petersburg, this time from Morocco.
We expect to continue to invest into Russia in terms of vessels. We are looking into other things as well in terms of the group. We believe in Russia. We believe of the perspectives of Russia. We believe that Russia holds a strong future. And this is why we will continue to do mutually beneficial investments into Russia.
Large-scale investments, even into the amicable countries, always carry a risk. And yet Danish companies are committed to long-term cooperation with Russia and are not afraid to invest into joint projects. The modernization of the Pikalova industrial complex is among the most important Russian-Danish projects. The Danish FL Smith, the St. Petersburg Mining Institute, and Fos Agro Holding have inked a truly large-scale deal. Fos Agro is a Russian-based vertically integrated global leader in the phosphate fertilizer industry. The group focuses on the production of phosphate-based fertilizers and apatite concentrate. In July 2011, the company held an IPO on the London Stock Exchange. The company was valued at $5.2 billion. Russian-Danish investments into the modernization of the Pikalova alumina refinery are estimated at over 300 million euros. As a result, Pikalova will be equipped with modern process equipment and energy-efficient technologies. The Danish investor is considered one of the global leaders in the field. The plant will be able to save over 20% of its energy consumption and increase its alumina output to 300,000 tons per year from the current 250,000.
FLS
Smith are unique in the sense that they are familiar with nepheline processing methods. They have the exposure with nepheline treatment in Mexico. That was the reason for our choice. We hope that our cooperation will breathe new life into the Pikalova plant. Investments into Danish companies open opportunities for Russian business to gain access to European consumers and the technology. This was the rationale behind NLMK's decision to purchase Dan Steel. Dan Steel AS is a heavy plates producer, established in 2002 following the bankruptcy of Det Danske Stålvalsværk AS. In 2005, Dan Steel was purchased by NLMK. Dan Steel produces up to 500,000 tons of heavy plates per year for shipbuilding, wind energy building, construction, and machine building needs. The main market is the European Union. NLMK delivers to Dan Steel account for approximately 20% of the Russian export to Denmark. Since 2004, NLMK has invested 77 million euros in Dan Steel, the largest Russian investment in Denmark. Over 100 million euros investments are planned for the next 4 years. Early 2000s were a hard time for the Danish steel rolling company. The business was on the verge of going bankrupt. And that's when NLMK lent a helping hand, saving 400 jobs. Around 80 million euros has been invested into the Dan Steel since 2004, the largest ever Russian investment into Denmark. Another 100 million euros will be invested over the next 4 years. We immediately started eliminating operational bottlenecks. We built a normalizing furnace, installed a new leveler, and so on and so forth, in line with the group's and the plant's prospective development plans. We completed a whole range of upgrade and revamping projects. Naturally, these million-dollar investments were not charity on the part of the Russian investor. This was a strategic acquisition. Dan Steel is the only flat steel producer in Denmark. Logistically, the company is perfectly located on the coast and has its own harbor via which steel is delivered to all the North Sea countries. The new owner has cultivated all these advantages. Efficient production upgrades and marketing turned Dan Steel into an attractive supplier of plates for shipbuilders and wind generator manufacturers. Russian investors were able to benefit from one more key international resource: synergy from merging two mentalities, the Russian and the European. Talking about Danish workers, I can always be sure that if things are mapped out and explained well, they will get done. Danish workers are highly disciplined. At the same time, the company needed a driving force, a fresh impetus to say, and that's what the Russian experts were able to bring to the table. Perhaps that's because we've been facing challenges all our lives. The scale of Russian investments into Dan Steel can only be matched by Russian-Danish intergovernmental cooperation in the energy sector, established between the two leading players in the market, the Russian Gazprom and the Danish state-owned Dong Energy. Dong Energy, one of the largest energy groups in Northern Europe. Dong Energy accounts for about 60% of Denmark's electricity produced and around 36% of the heat production. In 2006, Dong Energy and Gazprom signed a contract on gas supply to Denmark through the Nord Stream starting from 2011. The contract is for 20 years. The contract signed between Gazprom and Dong Energy is the first gas supply agreement between Russia and Denmark in history. Under the contract, starting from 2011, Dong Energy purchased 1 billion cubic meters of gas per year from Gazprom, with the possibility of growing annual delivery volumes.
For us, it's a very logical and important step because for the last 20 years, the Danish society has been sourced with gas from the Danish shelf in the North Sea. So we have been self-supplying and even net exporter of gas for the last 20 years. This will change in the coming years, so gas production will decline in the Danish part of the North Sea, and therefore we are very happy to have this agreement with Gazprom so that we can supply part of our needed gas from Russian suppliers.
Cooperation with Russia in the gas sector allows Denmark not only to satisfy its own gas needs, but also to retain its role as gas exporter to other European countries. In October of 2007, Dong Energy signed another contract with Gazprom for the supply of North Sea natural gas to Great Britain via Gazprom Marketing and Trading, the Russian company's subsidiary. Under the 15-year contract, annual deliveries will total 600 million cubic meters of gas. Russia and Denmark are expanding gas delivery routes and making a noticeable contribution to ensuring Europe's energy security. In October 2009, the government of Denmark was the first among Nordic states to issue a permit for the construction of the Nord Stream pipeline via its executive economic zone in the Baltic Sea. This was highly appreciated by the Russian government. The energy sector often turns out to be a stumbling block, but it played an immense role in our relations. The Danes were the first country to make the governmental decision granting construction permit to build the Nord Stream pipeline in their waters, and this was naturally met with great appreciation by the Russian authorities. The relations between the two countries are gaining momentum. The projects currently underway and the scope of the bilateral investments are setting the pace for expanding Russian-Danish business relations in the future. Danfoss is planning to build another plant in Nizhny Novgorod. Novo Nordisk has launched the construction of an insulin plant in the Kaluga region. Rockwool is building its fourth Russian plant in Yelabuga. Russian investors are keeping pace with their Western colleagues. NLMK is consistently investing into Dan Steel, its Danish subsidiary. And all this but confirms the well-known fact: Russia and Denmark have always seen each other as long-term and reliable partners.